All right, last segment on the questions that students ask me. I only know the first question because I look at it before I click it, and so this one is just cracking me up. It was, how did you meet your wife? I met her at Maricosta College. Man, fine thing. Woo! She was fine. Sitting behind the student activities counter. I'm not kidding. She was sitting behind there. She was a student worker at the student activities office. And me, at the time, I was the student body president, student trustee at Maricosta. And man, yeah, I looked at her. She was fine. Her smile. I'm still, to this day, we've been married for over 22 years, folks, and she could still melt me on the spot with her smile. Straight up. And so I know that was kind of corny for some folks, but that's how that goes. Anyway, I'm going to stop thinking about my wife right now and her smile. Whoa. If you had your own TV show, you being the main character, what song would you choose to be your theme song? Oh, wow. It is still, and it will always be, Fight the Power by Public Enemy. Just saying. I know that probably wouldn't be the best song to have a TV show surrounded by, but that is my anthem. When I think about how I live my life and what I've tried to do with what I have, and that is fight the power. Fight the powers that be. You got to fight. Oh, sorry. I wowed out. I got to stop. Next question. How did you decide your path to become a professor? What other career paths did I consider? I was really blessed to actually know really early on that I wanted to be a teacher. That was something, and I don't know why I kind of came up with that, but it was really early on. My mentor was the only positive black male role model that I had growing up was my economics teacher in high school. I mean, I literally had to wait like my whole life to get a positive male role model. Dr. Dwayne Coleman. He wasn't Dr. Dwayne Coleman at the time when I met him, but and I knew I wanted to follow his steps. I knew I wanted to have the kind of impact that he's had on my life. And I knew that teaching was a way to do that. And so I knew I wanted to teach. Teaching at the community college level, now that's something that I found out later on. What I found out later on is that I really wanted to help students realize their potential, and that you can do that way more at the community college level. I would argue that you do that way more at the community college level than at any other level. I think, and so, that there's literally students who I've seen come from like a basic skills level and get their master's degree. And I've seen students with 1.0s in high school get their master's degree and working on their PhD and become amazing people. And so that's to me the most rewarding part. While if I was working at like a UC, I would almost expect that to happen. I hate saying it quite like that, but it's like it would just be an expectation. While here, so many students come and go that it's just really a blessing to see a student realize that academic potential, maybe not even in something that they even thought that they were going to do, right? And so that's something that continues to bless me. Let's see, what career choice? So this is one I just already answered. How do I become successful in this class? This is a great question. For me, I've actually designed my class to where attendance is actually really, not attendance like just come to class, but attending and participating in the learning environment that I create on a day-to-day basis. Because I'm going to tell you, something that really offended me when I found this out is that like research showed that the classroom is actually one of the worst places to learn. Like I was like, what? And so, like out of classroom experiences and bringing, and all of this stuff were better spaces to learn versus like the actual classroom environment. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something about that. With the way that I teach, I'm gonna do something about that. I can't control the world, but I surely can control what happens in my classroom. And so I'm gonna do the best I can to create an environment in my classes that stimulate learning, true learning, and not just memorization. Right. And so And so then come to class. That's it, right? I literally like come to class and participate. Um, do I teach any other subjects? Well, all of them are housed under sociology, but I also teach. I've taught a lot of different classes before, but now I actually just teach introduction to sociology, statistics for the behavioral sciences, and then also research methods for sociology. And that statistics for the behavioral sciences is like, man, I'm telling you, I was so blessed when I started teaching that class. I realized that me receiving my AA in mathematics, it seemed so meaningless at the time. I always thought I wish I would have found sociology and ethnic studies earlier, and I didn't. But me receiving my AA in mathematics really helped me prepare myself for the type of teaching that I wanted to do, that I wanted to do in my stats class once I started teaching it. And so, and then all my experiences as a instructional aide in the Math Learning Center here at MiraCosta really helped me understand that by the time a student gets lost in math, especially in math, right? By the time a student gets lost in math, lost enough to ask a question, they're normally like 4 or 5 steps past where the question should have been asked in the first place. And I try to make sure I teach in a way that where I try to recognize where the real question is, right? Versus just the question that they're asking me. It's like, where is the real question? And normally, like I said, is about 4 or 5 steps past where they're actually asking the question. So anyway, that's it already for this segment. So I'm stopping now. Next.